I want to talk about the last time you walked away from your computer after a massive losing session. You didn't just feel like you lost money, you felt physically sick. Your neck was stiff, your eyes were burning, your stomach was in knots, and you had that deep, heavy sinking feeling in your chest. You looked at the ceiling and thought, why do I keep doing this to myself? Am I literally insane? You felt like you had just been in a physical street fight, but all you did was sit in a comfortable chair and click a plastic mouse. There is a massive lie floating around the retail trading industry. The lie is that you need to suppress your emotions to be a good trader. Gurus tell you to just be a robot, as if you can magically flip a switch and turn off your human biology. Today, we are going to expose the brutal truth about emotional trading. Inspired by the legendary Mark Douglas, we are going to break down why trying to fight your emotions is exactly what is keeping you broke. We're going to look at the specific brain chemistry of a blown account, why winning is actually more dangerous than losing, and how to permanently restructure your belief system so that trading becomes as emotionally boring as watching a ceiling fan spin. If your feelings are currently dictating your lot sizes, lock in. Let's get to work. Chapter 1. The Gap Between Expectation and Reality. Why do we get emotional in the first place? Let's look at a real-world example. If you walk outside in the middle of winter and it starts snowing, do you fall to your knees, scream at the sky, and punch the ground in anger? No. You expected it to be cold. You expected the snow. It aligns with your reality. But if you check the weather app and it says it's going to be 80 degrees and sunny, so you walk outside in a t-shirt, and then a sudden blizzard hits you, you are going to be furious. You are going to be freezing, miserable, and angry at the weatherman. Emotion is born in the gap between what you expect to happen and what actually happens. When you sit down at your charts and draw a beautiful zone of support, your ego makes a silent prediction: the market will bounce here. You expect the market to obey your lines. When the market crashes straight through your support line and hits your stop loss, it violates your expectation. The wider the gap between what you thought would happen and what the market actually did, the more violent your emotional reaction. You feel betrayed. You feel insulted. Mark Douglas teaches us that the market is never wrong. The market is just doing whatever the aggregate of millions of traders around the world are doing at that exact second. The only thing that was wrong was your expectation. If you expect the market to behave in a specific way on a specific candle, you are setting a psychological trap for yourself. You are guaranteeing an emotional reaction. Chapter 2. The Dopamine Poison. Why winning is actually more dangerous than losing. Everyone thinks fear and anger are the worst emotions in trading. They aren't. The most financially devastating emotion you will ever feel is euphoria. Let's talk about the winning streak. You take a trade, it hits take profit. Your brain releases a massive hit of dopamine. You feel brilliant. You take another trade the next day. It wins again. More dopamine. By trade number 4, you are flooded with the exact same chemical cocktail that a drug addict gets when they get a hit. You feel invincible. You start looking at the market not as a place of risk, but as an ATM machine that you have the secret password to. Euphoria is a poison because it completely shuts down the risk assessment center of your brain. When you are euphoric, you physically cannot perceive danger. So, what does the euphoric trader do? They abandon the rules that got them the winning streak in the first place. They say, I'm seeing the matrix clearly right now. This next setup is a guaranteed 100% lock. Let's risk 10% of the account instead of 1%. And the market, which is completely random, delivers a loss. Because the position size was so massive, that single loss wipes out the entire week of profits. The euphoria instantly evaporates, and you are slammed face first onto the concrete into a state of utter despair. You didn't blow your account because you were scared. You blew your account because you were arrogant. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Control.
If you want to stop feeling the agonizing swings between euphoria and despair, you have to accept a very dark truth about your relationship with the market. You have absolutely no control over it. We try to control the market by staring at it. Have you ever entered a trade and caught yourself physically leaning left or right in your chair as if your body weight could somehow push the candlestick in your direction? We try to control it by overanalyzing. We think if we just add 3 more indicators to the chart, we can force the market to make sense. You are a retail trader. You are a microscopic drop of water in an ocean of institutional liquidity. You cannot move the market. You cannot control the market. The only variable in the entire financial ecosystem that you have absolute 100% control over is yourself. You control the entry criteria. You control the risk percentage. You control the stop-loss placement. You control when you click the mouse. Emotional trading happens when you abandon the things you can control and obsess over the things you cannot. If you place a trade and spend the next 2 hours sweating, praying, and stressing over every tick of the candle, you are suffering from the illusion of control. Let go of the mouse. Step away from the monitor. Let the market do its job while you do yours.
Chapter 4. The Mark Douglas Belief Overhaul. So how do we actually fix this? You cannot suppress your emotions. If you try to hold your breath and just force yourself not to be angry when you lose a trade, you will eventually explode and revenge trade. You don't suppress the emotion. You have to eliminate the reason the emotion exists. To do this, we go back to Mark Douglas's core philosophy. You must rewrite your core belief system. If you truly, deeply believe that the outcome of any single trade is completely random, that you do not know and cannot know what the market will do next, then how can you possibly get angry when you lose? Think about a coin flip. If I flip a coin and you call heads, but it lands on tails, do you punch a hole in your drywall? Do you scream at the coin? No. You know it was a 50-50 probability. You expected a random outcome, so the result does not trigger an emotional response. You must view your trading setups the exact same way. Your edge is just a coin that lands on heads 55% of the time instead of 50%. When you click buy, you must tell yourself out loud, I am executing my edge. I do not know if this specific trade will win or lose, and it does not matter. I completely accept the risk, and I am surrendering the outcome to the probabilities. If you pre-accept the risk before the trade is ever placed, the gap between expectation and reality disappears. And when that gap disappears, the emotion vanishes with it. Chapter 5. The Dead Inside Protocol. To finish this masterclass, I am giving you the physical protocol to ensure your emotions never touch your capital again. Rule number 1, the hard stop rule. You must use a hard digital stop loss placed in your broker platform the exact second you enter the trade. Mental stop losses are a myth created by your ego to keep you in losing trades. If you have to manually click the mouse to exit a losing trade, you are relying on your willpower. And when you are in drawdown, your willpower is 0. Let the broker's server execute the loss for you. Rule number 2, the 2-strike walkaway. No matter who you are, taking a loss hurts. Taking 2 losses in a row starts to crack your psychological armor. If you hit 2 consecutive full stop-loss hits in one session, you are legally fired for the day. Close the laptop. Do not look at the charts on your phone. The market will be there tomorrow. If you stay at the desk after 2 losses, your revenge trading demon takes over the keyboard. Rule number 3, acceptance logging. In your trading journal, do not just log the entry and exit price. I want you to log your emotional state before you clicked buy. If you write down, I feel anxious, or I feel desperate to make money today, you are not allowed to take the trade. You are only allowed to trade when your journal entry says, I feel completely neutral. You must learn to trade dead inside. Trading is not an extreme sport. It is a business of probabilities. Stop expecting the market to owe you a living.
Stop letting a winning streak turn you into an arrogant gambler, and stop letting a losing streak convince you that you are a failure. You cannot control the ocean, but you can control your ship. Build your emotional firewall, accept the randomness of the next candle, and stop letting your feelings bankrupt your account. I'm Marvelous. If you had a breakthrough today and you are ready to trade with pure logic, hit that subscribe button. Join our community. Leave a comment below right now. What is the one emotion, fear, greed, euphoria, or anger that has cost you the most money in your trading career? Let's talk about it. See you in the next one. Stay disciplined.